What's up, guys? I don't have my mic in. Do I need the mic? Nah, fuck it. We won't do the mic. What's up, everybody? I guess nobody's here, but anybody who's watching the replay of this, welcome. I wanted to stream this like an hour and a half ago, but I had to do some things on here, so cool. So yeah, guys, don't really expect to like have a bunch of people here necessarily, but it's cool if any of you guys like come in and comment, and I'm happy to like address the comments as we go. But I don't want to get too sidetracked. And like, this is my, like, if you know my schedule, I wake up at 3, I get done my morning process around 7 a.m. And then I take an hour to do like some relaxing things like stretching and eating. And then what I'll do is I'll work from 8 until 3 and take like the top of the hour or like every 90 minutes for like a quick walk, 10 minutes, eat something. Um, maybe do some burpees or like grab a shower or like, that kind of thing. But so yeah, so this is, we're creeping pretty late in the afternoon for me. Like I go to bed at like mad early. So anyway, what I want to do is I want to show you guys, some stuff on my screen. I like, apologies to anyone who saw the video yesterday. Like I streamed for like 45 minutes, couldn't figure out the fucking screen share, pick and pick or whatever. Bought StreamYard and then realized that I needed to just like press the button, share screen, and then it would have like done it. I couldn't use the quick keys until after I like went into my systems and like fixed it all. So, or my settings, I should say. But anyway, it's, that's neither here nor there. I appreciate you guys though for being cool and shit. Cool. So a bunch of you guys, like, I'm not very well prepared for this. I have so much footage. Like I spent about, I don't know, maybe I spent months. It's been months. It's been a year and some months since all the drama kind of hit the fan. And yo, like that shit, like it hurt me. Like the whole thing hurt me. Like I felt let down and, it was very frustrating. It was very, very frustrating. And yeah, I mean, I needed to just sort of like take a long, hard look at myself in the mirror and, sort of just, I spent a lot of time like writing, and I spent a lot of time like dating, and, and I was still coaching the whole time, but I wasn't promoting it. And it was just with my boys. Like, you guys know who you are. And so yeah. So now I don't know if are you guys like seeing, I think you're seeing just me. But anyway, I'm about to share the screen, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just like post up some clips here that I have, some that I think, I don't know what I don't really know what they are. We're going to watch them together, and then I'm going to, you'll see what it is. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come onto these streams and just continue to show stuff that is, John Anthony lifestyle, being an asshole or whatever. In my opinion. You can make your own opinion. This is just like live footage of me and footage taken of me that John is in as well. And again, like if you weren't here yesterday, I've been holding on to this stuff for a long time. Like I never shared anything with MLD. I never shared anything with any of these guys about John. I never clipped any footage and gave it to anybody. Because I just like didn't really know how to react. That's the right way to react when something bad happens to you and you want to just like freak the fuck out, which like I did a little bit of. Like you want to actually like breathe it in and just like sit back with it. You know what I mean? Reflect. So, so anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna share my screen here, and we'll just kind of like go to town. And I'd love to hear like, what do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to know? My plan is to basically do like 50 minutes, 50 minutes on here today, and just see what we can cover. And then I'm just going to probably run it back again tomorrow. I don't know exactly. I haven't looked at my schedule yet tomorrow, but I'm going to try and run it back tomorrow. And then we're going to just keep doing these like as often as I have to get through all the material that I have which there's a lot. And I know a lot of you guys want me to just jump to the chase and like show John like having sex with trannies, but like, like that's not something that I'm really actually, interested in. Like, I'm not interested in this drama. I'm much more interested in relaying my story to you guys, and letting you know, because I have some explaining to do, because they're being close to this motherfucker is like, is evidence of my mistakes. So, yeah, anyway, here we go. Can you guys see this shit? So, where to begin? Well, I think it's worth it to just start with a conversation that we were having in a pre-brief. So, this is in Miami, and this is a conversation that we were having about like a pre-brief, we call it, before we go out. I don't run my programs the way that this is being run right here, but this is John's program, and I was just a pretty much unpaid intern along for the ride. And yeah, that is what that is. What's up, Joyce? So, I don't have a second screen. I do actually have a monitor here, but it's not set up with this, and I didn't want to fucking delay this any longer. So I'm gonna just like play this. If you can't hear it, like toss a comment up, and I'm gonna try to pay attention. So let's test the audio first. I want to make sure you guys can hear this shit. So let's see what happens right here.
Square up, shake their hand, and then the next move is you want to isolate them away from the group. So you want to like bring them usually to the bar.
Real quick, one mention about grabbing the hand is like when you shake their hand, it's like you just like what
show them how Tony does it.
No, yeah, exactly. Loud and clear. Awesome. Do I need to do anything else? Should I make it full screen? Probably. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Yo, Victor, what's up, dude? Not sure if I know which Victor that is, but fuck yeah. Self-made, yo. This guy's an OG for sure. Although we just met like 6 months ago. All right, here we go. Let's listen to this shit. Again, I'm not cherry picking at all. Like, we're not looking for I'm not going to cherry pick this. We're going to just play it through, and then honestly, like, if you guys want to clip this shit and fucking if you find parts of this that like expose anything at all, like, just go to town. And my plan is to do the same thing, is to kind of go run back, look it back over, and be like, okay, here were the parts that are just so absurdly fucked up. So bear with us, guys, and we'll see how it goes. And I guess I should ask one more question. Do you guys want to listen to the whole thing? Like, this is, let me see. Yeah, let's hear him talk. By the way, like, look at this motherfucker. Like, this is what he wears, dude. Like, this is when he's dressed up. Like, this is what he's wearing to go to the club. Like, so, by the way, I'm wearing the exact same clothes I'm wearing, like, in this now or whatever, but which is my fashion. But like, dude, this guy's teaching like a fashion makeover course now. Like, what a fucking clown. Anyway, here we go.
Like a robot. Like, you see a hot chick. We tell guys it's like a binary thing. You either would fuck the girl or you wouldn't. And if you would fuck the girl, then you go straight in. So when you walk in the venue, it literally should be like scan, see a hot chick, and then like go in immediately. And then when you open, so these are the main principles of opening. You should do direct eye contact, right? Square up your body language. My opener, which most of my students copy and use because it's simple, is, hey, I want to meet you real fast, or hey, can I meet you real quick? And that's what I've been using for like 5 years.
One really quick caveat on that is, like, you'll hear John usually says, hey, can I meet you real quick? But he's not asking yes or no, like, can I meet you?
Yeah, it's like a
statement. And a lot of the students will make a big mistake there. They'll ask, can I meet you real quick? And the girl will be like, no. So like, when you start, I would phrase it like, hey, I want to meet you. Yo, is that like really funny, by the way? Like, or no? Okay, anyway, let's keep going. My name's Royce, or hey, I want to meet you real quick. What's your name?
Yeah, you can follow on. Yeah, I want to meet you real quick. My name's John. What's your name?
Yeah, exactly.
And so the big like pillars of opening is direct eye contact, square up body language, speak loud enough. That's a big mistake a lot of guys make. Like, these venues that we're going to are gonna be loud as fuck, and you have to not shout, but like speak at a very loud volume. Like if a girl's like, what? Or what did you say? Or like she just doesn't hear your opener. Like, don't let that happen more than like once. Realize that you're being too quiet. And it can't be like some timid thing either. Like if you're like, hey, can I meet real quick?
Yo, that's me right over there, by the way.
She's like, what the fuck? Like,
yo, like in this fucking video, I'm like 140 fucking pounds, like 145 pounds. And I look like 200 fucking pounds. Like it's pathetic. And there's others that I'll show you guys where I have my shirt off. I'm like fucking just talking like a fucking clown. And my game never changed. My game didn't change much, but yeah, like my lifestyle certainly did. So let's get back into it. Let me just check the chat real quick. Cause again, I don't have two monitors. So I'm kind of like fucked. All right, cool. We're still good. I think we're still good. Yep.
Because you know you're not like owning it. Yeah, fucking sweating.
Dude, I was so hot on the plane, bro. Dude, the plane was so hot. I was next to a pregnant chick, and she kept sweating. She was sweating her ass off.
There was a lot of hot girls on that plane.
Yeah, the chick next to me was smoking hot. She's so sweaty though.
All right, so
yo, like this is actually really funny because we were talking about the plane ride for a brief second here. We were talking about like the plane ride that we took here. I'm gonna come back to me if I know how to do that. Oh shit. All right, we'll figure this out. It'll all work out in the end. Yo, really funny about this is like we went on a plane ride. Like we were going around the country like teaching this shit, and well, John wasn't fucking, he was just partying, but I was going around the country teaching this shit, taking care of John. And oh, and by the way, like to evidence of that, here comes some evidence of this. This is what it was like. So we were in Miami and we just flew from LA to Miami, and it was like the most gorgeous women on this fucking plane ride. It was like nuts. Of course, like the woman next to me is like this beautiful pregnant lady. So like she's like sweaty and smelly and shit, which is whatever. It is what it is. Anyway, so I was like upset that like everyone else had like gorgeous, like young, like not pregnant women next to them. And like they were all like all the other guys like that we traveled with, like the videographer and a few other guys were kind of like macking on these girls, and like they were like, yo, like poking fun at me. Because my girl had like the most ridiculous outfit on or whatever. And anyway, so my girl is so retarded. Anyway, so what I thought was so funny that made me laugh about this is that actually then we flew from Miami to New York City, and on that plane ride, it wasn't the first time because I'd done this with a girlfriend before, but for the first time with a stranger, I sat down next to a girl and she didn't speak any English, and I used my Spanish that I barely have, and we fucked in the plane. Like we were making out. Like I told her, like we acted like we were together, and then like we just fucked in like the bathroom, And yeah, that's like the third time that I fucked on a plane, but the other two times were with the same girl that I was dating, and we traveled a bunch, and it was on like crazy like Air Asia and shit, and like intercontinental like China to wherever, and so it was like long ass flights, like the lights off and shit. Never first class though, so it was always like economy class, like. You know what I mean? With like people like right in the other row, but whatever, it is what it is. Oh, and those were just in the seats, not in the bathroom. And that's something we can talk about, but I don't suggest it. You get in a lot of trouble for it. So hopefully I don't lose my job talking about this shit. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to this. I want to show you guys when we landed in, just as evidence to his lifestyle, where it was at. When we landed, here we go. This is how John was this is how John was then. And I hope he's not this way anymore, but probably he is. All right, here we go. Check this out right here. And this is the videographer buddy of mine. Like he's the fucking man. So check him out too.
What up, bro?
Dude, one more time.
What up, bro?
Yo, and if any of you guys recognize like the voice that I'm using there, the what up, bruh? Do any of you guys recognize that? If any of you guys have worked within his program at all recently, or if any of you guys have like taken his coaching and been coached by one of his guys, like one of his guys, like I love this kid. Like I love this kid. I think he's a scumbag for working with John, but like I think he's great at game. He's a great coach, and he's the only coach that I know that John has that I think is good. And a lot of people ask me like, yo, does John have good coaches? It's like, dude, I don't fucking know. Like I was his coach. So before, yeah, he did. And then when I left, like the guy who took my spot was somebody who John had been working with before. And I met on these boot camps. That dude's awesome. Like he's a great fucking coach. And it's a shame that he doesn't and I told him, I'm like, dude, just start your own fucking channel. But he's afraid of like this kind of thing. Putting his name out there, putting his head out there, putting his face out there, whatever. So cool. Are we still good? Are we still good? I don't know, but we're going to keep going.
Hey, I want to meet real quick. Speak loud enough. Direct eye contact. Square up. Shake their hand, and then the next move is you want to isolate them away from the group. So you want to like bring them usually to the bar.
Real quick, one mention about grabbing the hand is like when you shake their hand, it's like you just like what.
Show them how Tony does it.
No, yeah, exactly.
We had a student in LA, and he kept doing like there's like 50-year-old black dude. He'd be like calling like this.
He'd be like literally like that.
Like no, but for like 5 minutes.
Like this. Yeah, like he would never let go. I can just imagine that her hand was like fully like loose, like she fully let go, but he's just slaying it. You go to like what another coach Ross does. We learned we had him in. It's weird without Peter here. We had him in Vegas. But like, what he does is he'll grab the hand, and you just too. He'll hold her hand, and then he'll like just hold it close to him, almost as if like let's pretend like I'm not holding your hand anymore. Now I'm just talking, and he'll sort of like put his other hand on her back or on her arm, and then move up to like more sweet spots, so to speak. You know.
Okay.
Yo, by the way, guys, like this guy is a big guy. If you're a big fucking guy and you're introducing yourself to a girl, a very smart thing to do is to take her hand and is to hold her hand for when you're holding the hand for an extended period, then instead of just leaving it there and letting go, is to take it in closer to your chest and bring it right here. If you're a bigger guy, if you're a smaller guy, that's not really going to play. I picked up on that when I was like at this time. And again, I was like a fucking dweeb. So like, I didn't really and again, you probably are looking at it like, dude, you look the exact same, but like, no, like, trust me, when you see me with the shirt off, like on there, you'll notice like I was a fucking fat ass loser, skinny, fat piece of shit. But, yeah, when you're able to hold the hand and bring it here, it's like that's a huge, that's a big moment to have. Right. And so you want to savor that sort of opportunity to have that moment. And when it comes up, you don't want to miss it. So you can't force it though. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's keep going.
Like this, I'll be like, yeah, what's up on me real quick? What's your name? My name's John. And I'm in here like this, and my hand's on her side, and you're like in her space.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
yo, I think John has done more pickup on me than like on any actual female. Like it's all right. Let's keep going.
If you watch John, like he's not gonna let go of the hand. He's not gonna shake her hand like it's a handshake, like let go. He's just gonna hold her hand. And then at one point he's gonna let go, but it's gonna be like purposeful, you know. So like try and extend that period where like you have her hand, but you don't want to be like rubbing it or doing any weird shit. Like you almost want it to be like I don't even have your hand right now. If at any point she pulls back, then you can kind of like let go and reapproach that part.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so I roll up, hit somebody on me real quick. If she's like whoa, or like some kind of other like negative reaction, and you take a step back. Oh, sorry, it's on me. What's your name? If the friend comes in, lots of times when you go roll up on the girl you're talking to, the friend will come in and be like, hey, this is my girlfriend, or hey, we're not talking to guys tonight, or hey, we're just here to have fun, or any variation of that stupid shit. You're just like, oh, what's up? I just want to meet her real fast. What's your name?
He's like, any variation of that stupid shit. Like what he asks, like, what are you guys up to? And then like he claims that anything they say is a variation of stupid shit, which he determines is an objection. You know, like he'll give out a list of objections. If you guys follow John, like you've seen the shit, it's pathetic. He'll give out like a list of objections and like the most easy or like it's like a sales flow chart. That's like what this is. Like it's pathetic.
Like just like be normal. Like a lot of guys try to like over game stuff. or be fancy. A lot of guys openers are really fancy too, which is, girls see right through that stuff. Like I've heard it, like after the RSC free tours, like the guys will hit the streets and they'll be like, hey, like I had a girlfriend in San Diego, and like guys we'd go out after the free tour to like meet some prospective clients, and like guys would like roll up on my chick. I would be like standing nearby, and they'd be like, oh, I see you're looking at your socks. Like, do you really like your socks? Like, stupid shit like that. Or like, hey, you look like you're from Kentucky or some shit. And, and the girl's just like, ugh.
Yeah, guys, like it's so dumb to like make an assumption about somebody. Like it just doesn't. It's like incredibly rude. Like especially like in an attempt to make an intimate like a love partner. Like it's just like it's very uncalibrated or like it lacks social awareness. Don't do that. Don't make assumptions about people. You know what I mean? When you've had the conversation, when you've broken through that, the cold approach part of it all, then sure, you can be like, oh, it seems like you might be busy. That type of assumption, right? But don't be like, oh, what are you from fucking Australia? I heard your accent. She'll be like, dude, everybody says that to me, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, like I've been saying a lot on the tour, like everybody fucks. Like, every single human being who's an adult, I mean, aside from people who have issues, are fucking.
Yo, like this is a huge point that I used to say a lot more, but like I should make it a little more. Well, so it's funny because I used to say everybody fucks. It used to just be like everyone fucks. So just don't be so afraid of it. Just like get out of, you're so like encumbered by like your own of essentially what you think other people, how they're perceiving you. But when you just remind yourself, oh shit, everybody in here is fucking, like that girl who I'm putting on a pedestal is fucking, like that girl who I think is below me is fucking, and it's all good. Like that's how it should be. But now, the research is out, like, dudes, you're not fucking, like people aren't fucking, like, so, I mean, less and less people are doing it. And I think it goes back to social media but it especially goes back to online dating and then, pornography. So that is what that is, but we'll cover that in like different videos.
And this place that we're gonna go to is like a social place. It's meant for people to meet. So like people are meeting there, people are fucking there. Like why aren't you? Why aren't we?
I don't know if you guys could hear that, but I said people are meeting there. It's a social place. People are meeting there and people are fucking. So why aren't you? That's like that was my mentality then, and now my mentality, I still keep that in like my back pocket, and I'll share that with a client who like needs to like get over that sort of like shame that they have about like, approaching women or something, or like feeling like they have an agenda. But ultimately, like I don't like that type of language anymore. I don't really think that it's advantageous to you or to me. It doesn't help. It doesn't put the girl in a good position to say yes, if that's your mindset. So now my mindset's not so much like everybody fucks. But that is something I'll fall back on if like a girl calls me out. So like if she's like, yo, like, what do you mean get my number? Like, or what do you mean like invite me out after? Or what do you mean like you want to like hang out? Or what do you mean like blah, blah, blah. Like you're hitting on me. What do you mean? And I'll be like, everybody fucks, and it's very light. It's got to be very light. So anyway, let's keep going.
And like girls want to fuck you. That's the other thing is like girls want to fuck each one of us for who we are. Like I'm a short bald dude. Like girls want to fuck the short bald dude. Like
yo, girls want to fuck each one of us for who we are. So like, I'm a short bald dude. There's a lot of girls who that's just a non-starter. They're just like, you're too short. It is what it is. Why are we trying to like game our way? If you're a shorter guy like me, why are you trying to game your way around that? Like, who gives a shit? Like, do you like a girl who's tall or short? Do you know? See, that's the other thing is like girls tend to know what they like because they have the options. So again, like you need to learn the game so you can like kind of see the options that you have. And then you can feel less bad about it when she's just not an option. So whether it's because you're fucking bald or tall or a drunk fucking alcoholic, like psychopath, sexual predator, like this guy over here on the screen. So
of course there's girls,
in my opinion, of course.
There's girls who absolutely don't, and they're just not for me. And then there's like the other 70% of girls who I need a game to get them to like believe in me or believe in us. But like there's girls who want to fuck you no matter what. You pretty much.
Yeah, like I still stand by that. Like there's girls who like they like you, but they want you to like put in some of the work, right? And then there's other girls who just like they come up, like I meet them and right away they're just like, oh fuck, like I've been waiting for this type of guy, or I love this guy and sometimes it's I've been waiting for this type of guy. I know that I like this guy, but a lot of the times they're shocked that like they like me. And and I'm not. And that's what you guys are here for. Like, you're coming to this room because you need to really become you. And because there's a lot of fucking pussy out there, you guys. Like, there's a lot of love to be had. And when you begin to make yourself into someone who has some of the qualities that you want, then you'll see them coming back. You'll receive them. I'm getting a little preachy here. Like, this probably isn't exactly what you guys had planned for this type of, situation, this type of expose or whatever. But yeah, we'll do more of that this material seems to me to be mostly oriented towards like a conversation between John and I. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
No matter what you do. So like if you go in there and you're running volume, like you mentioned before.
What's
Yo, like, I think it's so gross when someone puts their finger like inside of like a part of their body and then they just like touch their face. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this is like, okay, like if you're a dating coach, like you shouldn't be in public like picking shit out of your ear, like let alone like on a video and in front of all your clients, like just flicking your ear shit all over the place. Like, it's just so embarrassing.
The girl's mind is basically she just wants to like make sure you're like cool enough, because most guys are not cool enough, and the reason for that is like,
dude, he says like because most guys are not cool enough, so the girl wants to make sure that you're cool enough. No, you are cool enough in a lot of ways that she would be happy to know. Like, what do you like? Do you like video games? Yeah, then you're probably fucked, because every motherfucker likes that shit. And well, what about the girl who likes video games? Yeah, well, she can go with anybody. Everybody likes fucking video games. But what do you like, right? And so it's funny because John is sitting here like, I still can't get over the fact that he's running like a fashion makeover thing, but that's so insane to me. But no, like, yeah, no, you see, this is all for him coming from that he lies to girls. So he's like, oh yeah, of course, like you have to convince her of like your lies ultimately, which no. That will get you nothing. It will get you nothing but trouble.
like owning their fucking personality and stuff like that. Like your mindset, like the only inner game mindset you should have is like you're the man, you're gonna fuck her, it's not a big deal. You get chicks like her all the time, even if you haven't.
All right, so that cuts there, but I got that picked up right from where we left it. So let's kind of come back together here for a quick second. Yo, let's go through these comments real quick and then we'll catch up. Yeah, Victor, is that Victor from China or is that Victor from the program before? I worked with a Victor a while back. I worked with 2 or 3 Victors, and one of them we had big problems and we kind of fixed it, and that's sick. The other one, he kind of just like peaced out. I don't know what happened to him. And the other one is my boy from China. So I'm kind of interested to know which Victor it is. Yo, this is so funny to me. Like, short sale sumo says, why is he wearing Julian's shirt? Yo, like, dude, John is like the spitting image of like RSD. Like, it's not a coincidence. Like, he will tell you that. As a matter of fact, let's go there. First, let me show you the rest of this video, and then let's go there, because John talks about it like explicitly. He shows you that he literally says like, I gained everything from RSD. Like it's all from there. So, yeah, actually, yeah, let me just bring that up right now and see if we can't. Yeah, so I'm gonna bring up the from his channel. I'm going to try and find a video where he is talking about, see, I don't really have this shit that well prepared. So let's just keep on with this conversation, and then we'll, cool, Victor. That's sick, bro. Yeah, guys, hit up the Discord. That shit's like we got some awesome guys like running that shit. Just fucking real cool dudes. And, yeah, my plan is to, kind of move away from Discord because I just don't use that shit. Like, I just have a really hard time. Like, it doesn't seem like the best for what we're looking for. And I'm gonna start like a mighty network up, and we're gonna have like a probably like a lifetime membership of like $20, $25, maybe $30, $35. I haven't really figured it out, but I want to give us all a space to like have these conversations that I don't even have to be in, that you guys can just have, and we can all like kind of like, and it shouldn't be just about like dating, right? It should be about everything. So because like I'm growing up a lot from this shit. So and realize that like as you go through these experiences, like you're not going to stay this way forever, like John Anthony Lifestyle did. You know what I mean? Like, don't be hating on like RSD and shit, like all these guys who are like married. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys for hating on that? Like, I understand why you might not want to get married. I understand why you'd hate on a guy for making that decision, if you know, especially if he wants to like spout shit out the side of his neck, advice to motherfuckers. But the point is that you know, you shouldn't hate on somebody for feeling like, you shouldn't be judging someone's love interest. That's, to me, that's just like, that's fucked up. And that's why John doesn't have any love, right? Because he's just focused on, how are you judging his love interests? John used to take Julian's videos and set them to dubstep beats. That's hilarious, and watch them endlessly. Yeah, dude. Yeah, man, he's like bragged about this shit. He like is, or it's whatever. It is what it is. This says, is it from Ozar? I think he means Occam's razor. And no, this is not. It better not be. See, that's the other thing is John. This is why I'm releasing this footage I have of me coaching, because John used footage of me coaching. I don't know what it is because I'm not privy to it. I'm still waiting. I'm gonna have to DM that fucking guy. John used my coaching and put it onto one of his programs that he's selling. I'm not sure. I think it's an Occam Razor, or maybe it's just the 8-week mentoring, or I'm not sure what it is. But essentially, he has like video footage of me, and he claims that that section. And again, this is all hearsay because I've heard it from somebody else, so I don't know that this is true, but I'm like fairly fucking certain. I mean, this is exactly what it is. He took my footage and said, yeah, don't worry. Because a lot of guys will say, oh yeah, like I don't want any night game. I don't want any online dating. I don't need to learn seeking arrangements, or like, I don't need to like figure out how to, you know, do all that fucking lying bullshit. I need to know how to do cold approach. I like to do day game. I don't like the clubs. I don't like online dating. And John would be like, oh, don't worry. I'm not the best at that, but I have an expert. He's the best in the world. And that was me. That is me. I don't know if I'm the best in the world, but that guy that he was referring to, that's me. And yeah. And so then he'd be like, he'd have my shit in his program. And I just found this out for like the third or fourth time. Like, so many people told me, but like every time that they told me, it was like not positive enough. Like there wasn't enough information. And now I actually have like the clips. Like I actually have like screenshot evidence. So yeah, I mean, that's another reason why like I'm like eager for like a fucking like, I mean, the dude talks about like he's not going to sue me because I'm broke. Like, yeah, I am broke. Like money, like I've never had a hard time getting money. I've never had a hard time spending money. You know what I mean? And you know, and it's not that I've used it for poor things. Like I use it on travel and feeding myself and like having fun dates and like, you know, that kind of shit. Which again, like it's not the best this is not financial advice whatsoever. But yeah, but it's funny because like if that's his reason for not suing me, like what, dude? Like you, like whatever. So we'll go over that. He sent me emails threatening me. He's done other things, and we're gonna have to go through all the emails too, because it's like a laundry list of emails that he sent me. So I still think that this is hilarious because that's like totally true. And we're gonna leave this one up on the screen. Cool. So I'm gonna go to the second half of this conversation here. And in this half of the conversation, we were talking about yeah, dude, he really is. He really is. He loves it. He fucking wants to be that. Like that's what, like that's exactly what he's doing. Like, years ago he'd be like, it's bullshit, like all the programs, they're just confusing you, they keep doing different things, they're like making it bigger, they're saying I'm not doing it anymore. Like John followed that playbook like to a T. Even worse, like he has fucking crazy amounts of he's doing a fashion makeover program, like a 30-day challenge fashion makeover. Like he's doing like Tinder like it's just insane, like the number of programs this guy has. And after all that, like Yeah, I'm gonna guys like, and I know the next question is like, well, do you have a program? Well, yes, I'm gonna put out a program. It's not gonna be like, it's not gonna be something you purchase and like, it's not gonna be a flow chart. It's definitely not gonna be a flow chart. It's not gonna be just videos of me speaking in front of a camera that won't age well because I'm gonna fucking learn more shit. It's gonna be like a classroom, and that's what I want to do. I want to create like sort of like Blackboard is for the university system. I want to take that idea and create that for us so we can have like the real community online in sort of like a university sort of setup so that it's like, okay, cool. Like if you want to have this conversation, you can have this conversation in this classroom. If you want to have this conversation in this classroom, and like essentially like people like me, not just me, but people like me can actually vet motherfuckers and say like, okay, cool, this dude's really good at teaching finances, or this guy's really good at teaching real estate, or this guy knows a lot about building a website or whatever the fuck it is, because this is life coaching, and I'm going to stay to my corner, which is like how to do cold approach, how to pick up girls in the daytime, how to overcome your fucking anxiety, depression, like early morning process, and like be fucking smart and healthy. So yeah, the end of this conversation is the end of this conversation here is really funny because we're talking about we're talking about a student who, and John's like thinks this, and I'm probably laughing. I haven't watched this yet, so we'll see. But we're kind of commiserating a student of ours who I don't know what the fuck, guys, like I don't know how John vets these motherfuckers. Obviously he doesn't. He just pushes for the fucking dollars, to the bottom line, because we had a guy and I mean like self-made, and a bunch of these guys like had me on a stream a while back, and they were like, like I don't know what pill they are, black pill or red pill or whatever, but they're a pill, and they were like, yo, like you're a fucking scumbag because you're dating Roach or whatever, and like all these other things. And and specifically, I got on the phone with a guy who like wrote a book that I threw on the ground because because the book is a joke. It's pathetic. And it'll probably sit on my desk until like more books pile up on top of it. And this guy asked me in this chat room, he was like, yo, like in the stream, he was like, yo, like, have you ever like had a client that had like a mental disability or like was on the spectrum of some sort that like you worked with, but like was unsafe for that person, perhaps, like that he could like the come down of like that high could actually lead him into a deeper problem, or like that the coaching itself was just not going to work for that individual. And like as someone who studied psychology, like as someone who worked in that world, like, yes, dude, like I definitely vet every motherfucker I work with, like, and I don't, and again, like I wasn't part of that process for this type of thing. But the story that I'm going to click on here is about it's the continuation of the conversation that you just saw, but it is John talking about, and I talking about this guy. It's probably me because I'm the one always telling the funny stories about how this guy well, let's watch it. Long story short, he was approached at the club and somebody said, you couldn't enter the club with shorts on. And this kid tried to enter the club with board shorts on. So as they tried to kick him out, he ran to the bathroom, and in the bathroom he hid. And when one of our clients walked into the bathroom, this kid walked out with his pants on. And he didn't have to fight him for it. He just straight up asked him, like, hey man, like I don't have pants. Like, can we switch pants? And the dude did. And so like I wasn't in there, and I don't know what the fuck. But then now like this guy who paid John like $3 or $4 grand is like sitting in the fucking bathroom. We're like, where is this guy? Where the fuck is he? And it's like, and then like one of the other students was like, yo, like XYZ dude is in the fucking bathroom. Like, it's like, well, tell him to get out here. He's like, he can't. He doesn't have any pants. It's like, what? And then like we like pan over the fucking group, and there's like this fucking like flamboyantly gay kid in like, and he's like skinny little gay kid in like this like fat dude's fucking pants, like huge fucking pants. And literally like people were like throwing him in the air, and he had like these pants on, and he was like, woo! Fucking so funny, dude. But not funny at all. Like, see, this is why I'm here. I'm here to explain to you guys, like, I was a part of some shit, and now I have some explaining to do, because that's not good shit to be a part of, It's not to say that like cold approach boot camps aren't good. It's not to say that coaches aren't good. It's not to say that there isn't such a thing as pickup artist or like a pickup coach. I think there is. It's not to say that like yeah, again, like it's not to say that it's like completely our fault or his. It's just, but it's fucked up. So here we go. Let's watch this little thing.
So yes.
Trying to figure out how the fuck to do this again. Such an idiot. All right, here we go.
And like, yeah, exactly. Like I talk a lot about like book ending conversations. Like you have a start and an end to every conversation. So like you don't want like, for example, like if you build her up to the point where like you're getting along and you're isolating her for maybe the second time and now you're trying to get her out, but she's not down and it's about to blow up, don't just like push until it explodes. Just be like, oh no, that's cool, let's go back to you. I'll even say, like, okay, cool, let's go back to your friends. Take her back to your friends, be like, all right, I'll see you later. Peace out.
You get the number.
Yo, like that's such a, like, this is something that you can see. Like John Anthony's like fucking not happy that I'm saying this, because it's like not what he says. Like he's all about like, yo, like you have to fucking keep pushing, like keep pushing. But it's like, no, dude, like you have to, there's compression and compassion, right? Compression and there's compassion. Okay. So when you're in a conversation with somebody, like be sensitive to that. And, you know, like most of you motherfuckers out there who are just like chilling the fuck out, watching this shit, like being pussies all day, like you need compression. Like you need to fucking work a lot harder and making yourself hard so you can do the things that it is that you're afraid to do. And that when you're having the conversation with a girl and she gives you a no, you press it and you say, like something about it, like, come on, or like, let's go. Like, what's the problem? Like, what's the deal? Like, again, like these aren't the verbals I'd use, but this is the vibe I try to, but frankly, like at this point in my dating life, I don't ever do that. I never do that unless I know it's fake. And like I mentioned here, in a situation like the club, if I'm like, hey, like, let's go. And she's like, I'll be like, yo, they're your friends. Let's go back to your friends right away. Even if I don't see them, and I bring her back to her friends. Not like whisking her away back into like a safe environment. The whisking part, is whisking the right word? Whatever. Pulling her away and like, into this friend group is that part, that process is the part that I get to lead, that I get to show my compassion. Right. And then when we get to the friend group, I'm not like, I didn't just like ask her fucking 8 times in a row with her like cornered by the door, like her looking over the friends and me like trying to block that shit, like to go with me. So then we're back and they're like, oh, a lot of times the girls will be like, oh, like we thought you guys left. And then I'll say, well, we came to ask you permission, and then they almost, at that point, they're always like, go. But also oftentimes they're like, dude, what the fuck? Like you just fucking left us. Like, don't do that again. And I'll be like, yeah, like she's a bad girl, or like, yeah, like my bad. Like I was showing her around, or I was getting excited or whatever. I'll just be honest about it. I think guys, when you're just like, you're just like a real motherfucker, like people don't fuck with you. Also, let me just be clear. I'm 33 years old. As you get older, like more and more, you'll be able to just, with this practice, more and more, you'll be able to just look a motherfucker in the eyes and be like, yo, like that, like, this is what it is. Like to like a hot chick or to like her boyfriend or to like whoever, the security or like the bouncer, whatever. It's like, yeah, dude, this is what it is. So, guys, like when I do day game, I'm not like, my advice to you is not to go out and just like approach a shit ton of girls. My advice to you is like, get your morning process dialed in. And when you're, whenever you do come across a girl, to just say hi. And like, so we have a question here, like, is it better to do day game approach to try to take a number or try to do an instant date? Dude, like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, do you have time for an instant date? Like, see, like these questions, like are coming from, and I know like you're just like writing this shit out, like in the fucking midst of nonsense or whatever. But listen, like day game is not going out and just like prowling around. It's not that. If that's what you're doing, then like, yeah, dude, you should be going for an instant date. You should be trying to get a chick who connects with you. But like, that's not what you should be doing. What you should be doing is you should be, say, for instance, like you need a new fucking shirt because you just realized that you've been wearing the same shirt that used to be a darker black, and there's like fucking like little holes in it and shit. And you're watching yourself in a video, like embarrassingly in front of fucking people online for that. That like this shirt's the same fucking shirt. So then I got to buy a new shirt. So then I go to the mall to buy a new shirt. So what do I do when I get to the mall? I don't just go to the fucking shirt store and buy a shirt and leave. That's not what someone who's interested in being social does. What someone who wants to be social does is stops in the Starbucks, for instance, and says, "Oh, hey, what are you up to?" "Yeah, I'm just like thinking about getting a quick coffee and then I'm going to go shopping for like some shirts or whatever. What about you?" And the girl, and that's a very cool and easy place to just be like, "Yo, what's up, girl?" When you're just chilling at the Starbucks in the line or whatever, or you see somebody, "Hey, what's up, girl? You waiting for some friends or whatever? I'm going to go buy a t-shirt. What about you?" And then, like, so you both have your reason for being there, like the logistics, like of what's going on. So then you can determine like, well, yo, listen, like, I think you're, stunning. And if I didn't ask you, I'd regret it for at least the next couple seconds. So what's your number? I'd love to take you out, and I'm not asking like for social media and shit like that. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm just, what's your number? Now that's under your pretense. Let me take it a step back. What I typically do is I typically first ask, are you single? And that's my new game. Like now I go up to girls. I'm like, hey, what's up? What are you up to? Sick. Yeah, me too. Like, are you single? And I'll say it very straightforward. If she's around my age in her 30s or late 20s, I'll be like, are you married? Actually, I kind of use that more often than not. And I think it's good. So if you're a younger guy, you probably don't want to be like, are you married? But it is very helpful to be like, hey, girl, you single? And then if she's like, why? You can say like, well, because I don't like to approach girls and like, I think you're hot and I was going to ask you out and I don't want to ask you out if you have a boyfriend. And like that plays out really well. So about asking for the number, dude. Yeah, like I don't really do not collect numbers, guys. Like it is such a waste of your fucking time. Like you should know when you meet somebody if you like that person. You won't know if she likes you. So don't assume she doesn't like you. Ask her for the number. If she says, how about Instagram? No, I want your number. I'm trying to ask you to go out. I want your number. We can exchange Instagram too, but I want your number. And if you watched my video with the Latina chick, stacked Latina, whatever, that exact conversation happened. I stopped her in Penn Station. I was walking from behind her. It was very awkward. Like I knew I was fucked. I just like walked up the stairs behind her, like fat fucking ass, like sniffing her farts and shit. And then like by the way, like how many farts do you think that you've eaten walking up steps? Like it's just, anyway. So Penn Station, New York City, walking up the fucking steps and eating this chick's farts like gleefully. And, she like looked back, like, and I could tell like the tension, like the, like pull her coat close and type shit, go upstairs. And then when we got up there, I was like, hey, excuse me. And she was so scared. And then I was like, hey, like, I don't like to talk to people here. And then I realized that she didn't speak any English. And then I said, wait, like, are you married? And she understood. And that helped so much. And then she said, and then I said, yeah, like, I want to get your number. I have to go to work. See, that's the line I use all the time, like, which we'll see in another thing where I'm coaching with John, is like the line I use all the time is, yeah, I got to get going to the thing real quick, but I wanted to like meet you. So what's your name? Or I got to get going to the thing real quick. So like, let's just exchange contacts and like, I'll give you a call. Because that's how it, cause like, yo, like goes back to what I was saying to you, VD's Rem or whatever the fuck your name is. Like, what are you doing? Like, do you have time for like an instant date? Cause like when I approach a girl, it's like, yo, I don't have time for this conversation. Like you're potentially breaking my character. So we're testing that. Well, okay, cool. Then she realizes there's no breaking character. This guy's legit, like, and whether she's into me or not is regardless. So yeah. So to answer your question, bro, like, have a purpose for where you're going. And if where you're going is the mall, then, and you were going to go shopping and grab a bite to eat, then, or like the walking street and you were just going down to like hit up a restaurant by yourself, or you're at the coffee shop and you're reading a book or like fucking doing some fucking work and you see this girl and like, you're thinking, hey, like, what are you up to? Like, do you want to take a quick walk? Yo, like that's, so again, like it's not an easy, like instant dates are kind of tough. What's funny is on this tour here in Miami, we had a guy who I think might actually be in this fucking stream. I don't know if he's gonna be in here, but we had a guy who actually had never talked to a girl in his life. And after I coached him on day game, brought him out, and I'm not trying to brag about my coaching. It's really just about like his ability to just like get out of his fucking comfort zone and like look someone in the eye. He said to this girl, and this guy was like a fucking like insane rocket scientist and shit. Like he actually is a rocket scientist. And he was like, he never talked to a girl in his whole life. And he walked up to this girl and was like, hey, like, I want to meet you real quick. Like I'm about to go. And he didn't know what to say. So he's like, yeah, I'm about to go to eat right there. like, do you want to come? Like, he just asked, he literally was just like, do you want to go on a date with me? And she was just like, yes. Like, she was like, yeah, like I could use a bite to eat. And like, did he, and I'm sure like the chat's like, yo, fucking simp, he paid for a meal. Like, good. Go buy a girl a meal, motherfuckers. Like, you know, go hunt. So yeah, and it was pretty cool. He like took her on an instant date. They ate like fucking like some fucking whatever. And yeah, and then he came back and was like, you know, so overjoyed. Like, it's unbelievable when you're around these guys and they like overcome, like when you guys are overcoming like your fears in this way, it's like, it really is very redeeming for me to like be a part of that. And it's something I cherish this shit. Like, I will never stop coaching, you know, guys. Cause it's just, I don't know that I'll stop. I don't know that I'll always coach, you know, pickup or like cold approach. Cause I think hookup culture is like a little bit of a, I mean, it's like vapid and so is pickup culture. But yeah, anyway, let's get back to the video. We're like rounding up to 50 minutes, which I said is when we were going to stop, but we're going to watch the rest of this one and then maybe one more here. To cut between the noise, let's watch this one of Liz real quick. So like Liz is John's business partner. John, you know, has sent me so many various things of them. And I just think this is like embarrassing because like in this one, he's like, yeah, he's like, it's just embarrassing. Like, this is John Anthony, like with his like girlfriend, like, look, like, yo, at one point, I think she says something like, yeah, you have nice arms or whatever. And he's like, what was that? Like, he needed her to repeat it for the video. So that way he could feel validated sending that to me. Like, and oh, yo, and like so often, like he's sending me videos where he's like, okay, 3, 2, 1, say cheese. 3, 2, 1, say cheese. Oh, wait, say cheese. But it's like a video. It's like, dude, like, I guess the idea is like you're gonna screenshot it, but like I'm pretty sure that like he's just like, she thinks it's a fucking picture. She doesn't know that he's like just actively still recording. She probably thought like he switched over to the fucking photo. But anyway, so let's check that out. Yeah, I can't wait till I'm really good at this shit and like it's just actually easy. Because this whole like going back and forth thing like is not. Yeah. Here we go.
Like this?
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3. Huh?
your arms look good.
Big?
My arms look good.
Your arms look good?
It's nice.
What did you say?
This dress nice?
Yeah, it's good. What did you say about arms?
Your arms look good.
Thanks.
Oh God.
Of course.
So you.
But the whole point is, like, if the girl's gonna bail, dude, if she's gonna bail, if you know she's not gonna fuck you, if you know if there's some fucking major issue here, then the best thing you can do is probably return her to her friends, and then.
I wouldn't even do that.
I know you would. Well, we different. You would just bail. You would just be like, all right, see you later. Well, I would return to the friends. I mean, you can do either one. But the whole point being, like, in that moment when you feel, okay, I should push through, you don't want to push through because you won't learn anything from that.
Yeah, your biggest commodity is time, right? So like, you have a limited amount of time. Like when we go out tonight, what watches you? What time is it?
11:45.
We can leave soon. So your biggest commodity is time. So it's like when you're in an interaction, you're trying to see like, is this chick being compliant? Is this chick down to go? Like, and if you can.
Yo, like, don't use the word compliant. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just insane, dude. Like, this guy is nuts. And like, yeah, like so many people say to me, they're like in the comments, we're gonna have to go through my comment section, just like see what the fuck, you know, the John Anthony trolls or fans are like say to, it's crazy. Like they're like defending him and just like they just like John, like the one dude, he's just like, yo, like is it true that you stole all of John's methods? It's like, wait, what? Like, first off, like, that's how you ask? Like, what am I like? Yes, I stole John's methods. Like, dude, you're retarded. Like, I would never steal John's shit. And it would be obvious if I did. And, you know, here's evidence of me on John's program doing my coaching, talking about how I meet girls, and him outright saying I wouldn't do that, and then me saying this is why I do this. And he's going to come back and say, and I haven't seen this, but he's going to come back and say, compliance, like check for compliance to leave. If she says she doesn't want to leave, then ask her why, and then use her reasoning as to why to get her to leave. This is how he gets your guys' money. Like, it's like high pressure sales tactics on a drunk girl at a fucking club. Like, this is fucked up shit. This is really fucked up. If this motherfucker like talked to anybody that I know, if like he ever came across like any girl, like there's one girl that he's been with that I was with like before him, which he didn't know at the time, but whatever, now he knows. And he fucked with her like hardcore, and like, yeah, I mean, I wish I would, like, I regret not like addressing that like physically in a physical nature, And so anyway, John, like you're a fucking punk, so let's go.
A good read on it, just from like the general level of like how on things are, like DTF.
Yo, and like he always talks about like he tries to like debunk shit and say like putting the science back into seduction, and it's not like woo woo, but then he just says like like it all depends on how on she is. The fuck does that mean? Like on? Like it's just crazy, dude. This guy is. And like if you hear my whole story of how I make it work, it's like return her to the girls, and then say, yo, like have fun and leave, and then or stick with the girls and then just have fun. Like just have fun. And yeah, anyway.
Basically translates to compliance. Yeah. On most levels. So like if the chick's being compliant, like say she's like aloof, like I'm sure you guys have had situations where like you're talking to a girl and she's like on her phone and she's kind of like, oh yeah, and she's kind of like, I'll call them out. I'll be like, yo, I'm trying to talk to you for a second. And if she like, puts her phone away, that's fine. If she doesn't put her phone away, like don't be in a situation where like it's not on and you're just like wasting time. If like the chick like won't look up from her phone or like is like kind of spacing out and shit and not even really listening to your words and shit.
Yo, like that this has not even happened to me. Like what John's referring to does not happen. Like that never happened to me. Like when in my life has that happened? Like actually that it's only ever happened that a girl's sitting there with her phone not paying attention to me when it's like my girlfriend and we're like chilling and we've been together for mad long. Never in my life have I been in someone's 3-foot circle and they're sitting there like this. Like, no way, dude, no way. Because like I command attention and like I have this energy. So it's a projection. It's funny because like he's talking to people who are all like, yeah, I know that experience. And it's like, yeah, dude, because you don't have any fucking game, bro. Like, and again, not the people in, like literally like these guys in the group like did better. Dude, look at John. He's drinking. He's hammered. He's fucking drunk. He's on a bender, bro. So it's like, it's insane that he's talking down to people while projecting his reality as worse than theirs, like worse than theirs. And this isn't a situation where these people are not only like following his every fucking word and move, copying it literally word for word, and by the action and by the intent, but also they're fucking paying him $4,000 for it. And it's fucking nuts. There's one guy in this program who just like left right away. He like came in and like saw John and left and just like forfeit the money. And I reached out to him. I was like, yo, dude, like you good? And he was like, yo, bro, like John's a fucking liar. And like, I'm not going to waste my time on that shit. I can't believe I spent $4,000. And I was just like, yeah, like, can I help you? Like, I want to coach you. Like, can I help you? And he was like, fuck you. And I loved it. I was like, I remember like going to my buddy who was there too. And I was like, yo, dude, like, my best friend who was there. And I was like, yo, dude, like this sucks, bro. Like it hurt me when he said that. Cause it was like, it really hit home. Like I shouldn't be a part of this shit. Like this shit fucking sucks. So anyway, let's keep going.
Don't bother.
And don't deal with girls with like their fucking crazy games. Like we had a guy who approaches 2 girls and like they
Oh yeah. So like, this is the story about the guy, but it's a little different than I remembered it. It wasn't that like the guy was convinced in the bathroom by the guy. It was the guy was convinced by girls he approached to go give his pants to his friend. And it's crazy because like he came back, like at the end of the night, we were all like gathered around, like debriefing or whatever, like talking about our night. And like we all went around and like bragged about like little like hookups we had. And like, everyone like has a good time pretty much, except this guy is bragging about how good of a time he had, like with this unforgettable story. He'll always want to share to people of how he like was convinced by like 2 girls at a LA club to take off his pants and give them to someone else, their gay best friend, so that he could be allowed to stay in the club. Like, anyway, this is that story.
Walked till they made the set really open for the first like 3 minutes until they told him, "Oh my God, we have this we can't go anywhere. We have a big emergency. Maybe you can help us." I'm like, "God, you'd be the best. You help us."
Right off the pants. Like,
Yeah, and then he's
dude,
like, "What can I do?" He's like, "What can I do?"
Wait, you want to tell the story real quick?
Yeah, okay. So basically, we're at the club, right?
This is insane.
This happened yesterday? No, 2 days ago.
Yo, like so many things happen when like you're doing, like when you're coaching pickup, like, you know, and you're especially in the nightclub, like crazy fucking shit happens. Like, you don't know how many times I've like gotten my like dick sucked like at the club, like been like yo, like to students, like, "Oh my God, like look at this guy's getting his dick sucked." Like, you don't know how many times like we've like been in situations that are just like threesomes, like in the like just crazy stuff, like crazy stuff happens. I don't even know that I could. And like, I'm not talking about like using drugs or like anything like that. I'm talking about just like sober fun, you know, from my end at least. You know, he's obviously hammered, but you know, just like, and again, like I'll have a drink or two. Now I don't really drink, but back then I was like getting toasted. But actually, that's not true. At this time, I wasn't drinking. At this when I coach, I don't drink. When I coach you motherfuckers, I don't drink. You might see me at the club like buy a drink, but typically I won't. Typically I won't drink at all, and I definitely won't get drunk. Anyway, like crazy shit happens in the clubs like all the time. So, for John Anthony lifestyle, J-Move, like efficient pickup motherfucker, to come out here and say like this is crazy. Yeah, man, like this is.
A student in LA.
Yeah, so we're at this club, and I approached these 2 girls, and I talked to them briefly, but I could tell the moment that I approached them, they're in a headspace right now. They're like conniving, some shit's up. I don't want to deal with it. These girls are hot, and they're down to talk to me, but not in the way that I'm like, I don't want to deal with this bullshit. Whatever bullshit you're up to, I don't give a fuck. So because I've been there, done that. I've seen this shit. So I'm just like, all right, peace out, you know. And I'm just posting up, and the 2 girls are like, fucking guys are approaching them, and they're like blowing out sets. Kind of, I can see what's going on. And then my boy, who's one of our students, comes rolling through, and he sees me. He's like, "Yo, what up?" I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" And he sees those 2 girls, and he's just like, looks at me like, "I'm gonna talk to those girls." I'm like, "Do your thing, bro." And so he's talking to the girls right next to me, and like they're really open. They're very open. So I'm like, I knew someone wasn't up. I thought maybe they're lesbians. Like, at the best case scenario, they're lesbians. But anyway, I'm listening to our conversation. He's like being really friendly.
Yo, like this was an LA club where like it's an outdoor indoor venue, and like the women were dressed in like this was like the first or second nice weekend of spring, you know, like it's still winter actually. And so like but it was like gorgeous, and like the weather, and like women were wearing like dresses and like sexy outfits and shit. Like they and like these girls were like dressed like to the nines, and like I'm dressed like that and like whatever. So
he's fucking up his rose pretty hard, but like saying like he's like I remember specifically. He's like, "Oh, do you guys come here often?" It's like Thursday. They're like, "Yeah, we come here every Thursday. What about you?" He's like, "Nah, I never come here. Like I live like," he's just like fucking up. He's like, "I live like 2 hours away," and like, you know, just like the girls are just like, "Who is this fucking guy?"
yeah, like, yo, guys, like there's no reason to like divulge information about yourself that is just logistically like inopportunistic for the or for the relationship to continue, like for the conversation to even start. Like if you meet somebody like, well, so really this is my point. When you go to the club, if you never go to that club, then like why would you say, "Oh, do you come here a lot?" Because then they're going to be like, "Yeah, what about you?" "No, never." Or like, "No." And then you're gonna be like, "No, never." And they're gonna be like, "Okay, this guy can't show us a good time." So, you know, don't lie. Don't go. So like a lot of guys are like, "Oh, okay, cool." I'll go and be like, "Oh, do you come here often?" And they'll be like, "Yeah," or "No." And then I'll be like, "Yeah, me too. I come here all the time," you know? But no, you want to actually be honest about it and say like, "Hey, do you come here often?" If you go there often, if you can show them around. If you don't, just don't fucking ask that, you know?
He's just talking, like he's just being real. And then long story short, they're like, "Yeah, like we have an emergency." They're like, "Actually, we have an emergency. Like you could maybe help us. Like we really need our friend outside. He's just wearing like shorts and he can't come in. Like maybe like we can borrow your pants." and he can and we can put your pants, and the guy's just like, how would that work? Like he's asking that for his number.
Yo, it's insane. And he's looking at me like he's looking at me like I can't believe this is working. Like that's how he's looking at me. And I just, yeah.
I'm sitting here like, how would that work? Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's like, how would that work? And they're like, yeah, well, we could like run to the bathroom. We'll get the pants from you. We'll put them on the guy. We'll bring the guy in. We'll take the pants back. We'll give them back to you. Dude, they were saying to him, like, you'll be the coolest guy ever. And like, you could see in his face, he's like, I would be cool. And he's just like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, let's do it. And they're like, oh my God, he's going to do it. Like hugging each other and shit. And then they go to the
they didn't even it wasn't even like they were like, oh my God, and like hugging him. It was like, they were like, oh my God, like looking just at each other, like, oh my God, and like hugging. And he just, it's crazy, dude. Like, and I could see in his face that he's like, this is going to make me cool. Like, I'm going to like, cause they said like that you would be the coolest. And like, holy shit. Like, so, and to kind of come full circle, like, dude, yes, I would help this motherfucker, but no, I wouldn't charge him to come on a program like this. Like, and this is again why like I think we need a more like broader, space for people who, may or may not have various different, tendencies or like, even disabilities to like at least be able to be a part of the conversation, and not be forced to be in a situation that's like up to here or like further, like that's beyond their chin, So anyway.
He takes off his pants. He gives.
Not to mention like beyond my chin. Like I'm a smart coach. Like I'm a good educator, but like, and I've been a professor before, and I've taught a lot, and I've coached probably over. I was gonna say it's definitely over 1,000 guys. It's probably more than that, like by a significant number. But that I've just like helped along the way. But I've met 1,000 fucking guys in this game, so. It's like, I've been doing this for 8 years. This is my 8th year of coaching. So, and it helps to meet more people that I did free coaching the whole time. And it helps to meet more people that I had free weekly group meetings and that I made a Discord and I did all these other things. And, like I was doing that like for you guys. Like I wasn't doing that shit for me. Like I don't want to be on Discord. Like I don't want to be on YouTube talking about this shit, frankly, but I have to because I have the explaining to do, and anyway, so let's finish this up and we'll see how this ends up.
The girls bring the guy inside. The next thing I see, I see him leaving. I mean, as a coach, like we were discussing, like, should I have stopped it? I mean, like probably.
Yes, dude, I should have absolutely stopped this shit. Like it is like beyond sinful of me to like it is just, it's so fucked up that I didn't help this man. Like, and, we'll hear what my explanation is. It's fucking shit, whatever it is. But like at the time, I honestly think I wanted him to learn a lesson, like as fucked up as that is. Like it's so vindictive or something. Like it's sickening. It is really sickening. Like talking about like dating roach, like that was me being a roach. Like I should have stepped in. And again, like, to be completely honest, like I didn't receive any money for this. So I wasn't in a situation where I felt like because he paid me, I need to do this. I was actually in a situation where I was trying to find a way out at that point. So like I was already, and I'm not making an excuse and it's not really truly an explanation. It's just the context was I was looking for opportunities for shit to hit the fan. I was looking for opportunities for people to come in and say, to expose John at that point. And, like this was like already like weeks after John was like in bed with trans, like, like dudes, like bringing dudes back, like, so let's watch the rest of this.
But those are the types of lessons that you need to fucking learn. It's like how you're about to get tooled.
Yeah, why not? Who the fuck knows he was doing there?
I probably should have stopped it though. But then in the end, dude, like 10 minutes later, so he leaves and 10 minutes later.
Dude, like it's sick to me. First off, look at John Anthony's body right here. I don't know if this is like a fucking like I don't know what that is. Like, look at this. It's insane. Like he looks like doesn't have legs. Like, anyway, he's much healthier now. So I'm sure he's looking more or less the same, but, yeah, like, I should have stopped it. It's when John Anthony Lifestyle is laughing at you like this, or laughing with you. When John Anthony Lifestyle is laughing with you, you're fucked up. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I see like the
Yo, and like if you're watching this, dude, like reach out to me, bro. Like if you're watching this and like this was you, this story was about you, reach the fuck out to me. Like I want to apologize and I want to make it right. Like I want to do whatever it is that I can do to like, fix this, and I, again, like there's no going back, but, yeah, fuck.
like super gay guy coming. He's like, guess who's in? And he's like wearing this big ass baggy pants, bro. Oh, you really did it? Yeah. He's wearing like this big ass. It's like this gay guy. He's like high fiving all these girls in like my boy's pants. I'm just like, Jesus.
No, they kicked him out. Like,
Then they kicked that guy out.
the bouncers were like, get the fuck out of here. They're like,
Yeah, the kid, not the guy. They kicked the gay guy out. They were like, dude, like those aren't your fucking pants. Return those to the guy in the bathroom who's like still in there. You're just like in the fucking bathroom, like waiting. I like put my head in. They're just like, pants here? Got the pants?
yeah.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing? But the whole point being that, like,
He had a threesome with 2 strippers that night.
Yo, so like, did you hear what he just said? He just said he had a threesome with 2 strippers last night. Let's run it back so you can hear. We're talking about somebody who like just gave up his pants at the club to 2 girls. Like clearly John just like, paid for somebody to sleep with this guy. If it were even him who was sleeping with, like, I want to talk to you, dude. If you're out there, bro, come sit down with me. I want to know, like, did you sleep with strippers that night, or is John projecting something he did? And by strippers, did you mean escorts? Did John mean escorts? Did that happen? And then more importantly, who paid for it? And then also, importantly is, dude, I want to help you out, bro. Like in terms of just like wherever you're at, I want to give you my apology at least. So, and I would love to help you out if you could use it, but maybe you can give me some lessons too. So anyway, like let's run this back for a second. Hear what the fuck John says, because it's like so fucking embarrassing.
but the whole point being that, like,
He had a threesome with 2 strippers that night.
Dude, like what a fucking sack of shit. Because that's like an obvious lie, right? Like there's just no way that. Did anyone in here ever have a threesome before? Anybody? Yeah, I mean, I have. I bet some of you guys have. Definitely when guys catch up and watch this, like people will be like, I had a threesome, it was awesome. Or like I had a threesome, who gives a shit? It doesn't really matter. It's not that cool. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but it's really not that fun. It's better. I like one-on-one sex better, but dude, like I don't think that. No, that definitely didn't happen. I'm just gonna say it for sure. All right, let me catch back up on these. He hates Tyler so much because Tyler figures out how to trade hope for work and keep all the money. Yeah, dude. It's sometimes hard to understand like what you're saying. Bro, like short sale sumo, you're so good at sometimes you got these insane lines, and other times you're just, yeah. Like the next one you said is hilarious, dude. Because I didn't understand like Tyler so much. Tyler figures out how to trade hope for work. Oh, I see. He's trading hope as his job, and then he's keeping the money. Or maybe he's trading hope so that other people work. I don't really understand what you're saying there, but John does the same. To me, John does the same thing. Is it better to day game approach? Oh, we already answered that one. Rocket surgeon isn't a big deal. John worked on missile defense. Yeah, exactly. Dude, what a fucking clown. And whatever, let's keep going. No, I've never worn any camera. I filmed one infield in my whole life that like I didn't film. So shortly after meeting John in person, he was like, dude, like what you're doing is insane. Like we have to put, cause like he couldn't game. So he doesn't game. He does not approach women. He's not approaching women. So he was like, bro, like you're insane at this. Let me, let's film infield. And so, like right away, And those of you who are there, like, you'll know, like, John was saying all the time, like, yo, this is my coach. Like, he's my like in videos, he'd be like, yo, like my coach. And I was just like, dude, like, I want to make my own channel. And he's like, well, no, you can't. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't? He's like, well, you're my coach. It's like, no, I'm not. He's like, but I already told everybody. Think about the opportunities. And he was literally like, we're going to build an RSD and you're going to be my coach, which is funny because like that's like what he built. But then he just didn't let anyone else like make any fucking money off of it. He just like uses people. So it's really fucked. But anyway, have I ever worn a button camera? I've never worn a button camera in my life. I used to have a buddy who used to wear like camera in his glasses he's actually works for Barstool Sports now, Barstool something or other. But we used to hang out in Hong Kong, and word up to Donnie, he's the fucking man. And he's nuts. And he used to always wear those things. And it's just, I really wanted to get a pair of those sunglasses just to like do some funny shit, like not really to do pickup at all. But no, I never did. We recorded one infield right after I met John. It was March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, 2019. Might have been 2018. Oh wait, might have been 2017. Could have been 2016. I don't know, but I'll have to check back on that. But it could have been 2016. But anyway, no, 2016. No, 2017 or 2018, March. I know it was the 17th because it was St. Patty's Day. We were in Vegas. If you're taking notes, like, or keeping score, like, yeah, these are all like cheats. So like to say like I filmed infield. Okay, well, where were you? I was in Vegas. Okay, and then it's like I was in Vegas on St. Patrick's Day. Dude, what the fuck? Oh, and it was 90 degrees and like perfect weather. Like, yeah. So, I mean, and I'd been gaming in Vegas for like 10 days prior, like all day, so no, it wasn't good. It wasn't a good look. But what's funny is I went and approached a girl, and what happened is we sent students over there, and our like star student who had like multiple threesomes, I think in 10 days, he slept with 14 girls in Vegas. And then he signed up and came to Miami, where we had some crazy shit happen. And we hooked up with a girl. In a very famous story of mine is hooking up with a girl, famous on this fucking corner of the world, hooked up with a girl while driving in the Uber. And the girl was squirting all over the car inside of the guy's Uber. And then we got to 11 and I got out of the car naked, like butt naked, in front of these police officers who were like just laughing. And yeah. And I left my underwear inside the car because I was so scared of getting arrested. I just like fucking threw my shorts on. I always wear like athletic shorts and shit, and like just like cloth shorts, because it's just really the way to like game. You know what I mean? That's taking it a little too far. But have I ever worn a button camera? No. And the way that the cold approach worked, I went up to the girl. I sent the guys in to like actually like approach. They were having a somewhat decent conversation, but the girl did like the whole body language thing where like she basically like was showing like, I'm trying to get out of this. And then I went over and like cut them off like as if I didn't know them. And I basically like just put it on, and then we made out, and like it was like probably less than 3 minutes. It was definitely less than 3 minutes. I was gonna say it was less than a minute, but it's probably less than 3 minutes, and we were making out. And then we went inside of a club, we took a shot. It's St. Patty's Day, and then we went back to her place. And immediately afterwards, we went back to get the footage because like John was like so pumped. He's like, dude, this is gonna crush. And the footage miraculously, or surreptitiously, was deleted. It went away. So at that point, I remember looking to the guy who recorded it, who did the filming, and I was like, please never let me do that again. And I just had a videographer here today to talk about like the direction of this whole thing. And he's like, yo, we should go, like, yo, virality, like we should go out into the town. And like, cause right now there's a festival in my hometown. He's like, yo, we should go out into the town, and just like, you could pick up girls, and like, I'll videotape it from like mad far away. And like, you could wear the lav mic and all this shit. And I'm just like, no, dude. And he's like, no, but dude, like, think about it. Like, you can do this. And it's like, yeah, dude, like, no, you, and I was like, no, you can do that. And I was like, and I told him, I was like, dude, I drew like a thick ass fucking line in the sand here, in the cement, bro, for myself. I'm never going to do that again. I've been there, done that, and I'm not interested in that. So, Yeah, these are good questions. Short sale sumo, like this question right here, motherfuckers, all you guys, like this is a really good question to ask a coach because, like, yo, if your coach is out there just like filming random fucking people without their fucking knowledge or consent, like, dude, like shit is weird in this dude's life, like, and like, yo, like you, like for instance, like on my Instagram, like there's a video of me and a few of these like in like the highlights or whatever because like occasionally on stories I'll like be walking behind my girl that I picked up, or like for instance I picked up this girl and we were walking home together and I just filmed her ass walking up this in like a red skirt like going inside or whatever. And like, yeah, I mean, like, is that cringy or whatever? I don't give a shit. To me, I think it's fucking awesome. Like, I love, like, I was filming that shit anyway. And like, and again, like, she's someone who I'm seeing. So, like, she's feeling comfortable. And by the way, I didn't fucking stream that shit live. I didn't like click story and then like fucking record that shit. I recorded her ass. Like, and then I immediately showed her when we got inside, like, yo, like, check this shit out. Can I post this? She was like, yeah, whatever. So major differences there. And this is a great question to ask your potential coach, like any prospective coach you're interviewing. Have you ever done infield footage? Have you ever worn a button camera? Have you ever worn a lav mic? Do you recommend that? If like frankly, and I know like, you know, I'm not sure, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure like Austin Summers and several others, most dating coaches probably have guys wear shit so that they can like hear it or like video record them so that they can like watch it later in like a hot seat situation. No, dude, like I don't see any value in that. And a lot of guys will ask me, they'll say like, yo, will you like if I send you like video footage of me or like audio footage of me speaking to a girl, like will you like give me feedback? Like I'll pay you. It's like, no way, dude. Like that's not good. Like it's not going to be beneficial to you to do that. Like for any reason. Like there's no reason. So no, I've never done that and don't fucking do that. The implants, yeah. Yeah, like John, yeah, let's not like, you know, beat a dead horse. That's a fucked up way to put it. But yeah, I mean, like in the video I showed before, like she doesn't have implants, right? And then like she gets implants and it's kind of funny because yeah, John like I'll show you guys eventually, like John's like texting me like about it. And by the way, like I said this like a year and a half ago, I was like, yo, I would never, like, there's no reason to involve Liz. Cause I said some shit that was like a little, maybe like I was a little hasty in my reaction, you know, when like John was doxing me and threatening to kill my dad. I was like hasty about like just, you know, like word vomit almost. And, you know, I remember at a certain point in time, I like pulled back and I said like, yo, I'm never going to involve this girl because like, I don't want, cause like why would she be involved? This is his girlfriend. But like, dude, that's not his girlfriend. That is his business partner. Like they like clearly he's taking off in a new direction since he met her, which I'm sure was on seeking arrangements because there's text messages between him and I about this shit. So anyway, I'd like to share that shit too, but I'm a little like I have to like I'm disorganized on this end about like I have so many text messages to share you guys. Like I'm gonna just start making videos on it and trying to like link them all together, and then I'll just like I'll have all that material. So I'm a DJ, therefore I lie. Yeah, that's a terrible lie, he always says. Yeah, like John's oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. And like this is like in John's program, it's all just like him. Yeah, I mean, in John's program, it's all him um doing these day game approaches where he's like fumbling around, stumbling around drunk. It's never good. The girl's never receptive. It's never ever receptive. It's always what bad game looks like. But it's funny because like a lot of guys watch it and they're like, oh, my game's a little bit like that, but I stopped here. I wasn't persistent, or I wasn't these things that like aren't good. Because it's like, dude, yeah, you shouldn't be persistent on something that isn't going to work. You shouldn't be persistent on someone who doesn't like you, you know? And so yeah, like that's guys, like if you pay for his fucking program, in my opinion, of course, then you will be very, very much let down and just straight up you're being misled. When you're going to be let down when you get to his his footage of what is it like of him gaming or whatever. You're going to be very, very let down. So, all right, guys. Yeah, let me see. By the way, like these clips here that I showed, they were a part of a a collection of 12 clips. I showed 2 of them. The others have students in them, and I'd rather not. I'm not going to show that. I'm not down for that shit. Like I don't want to expose anybody who is just a regular motherfucker. So again, John is in this space. Liz like is like on, she's a public figure. She's on this shit. So that is what it is. Guys, like I would love to just like continue this and go through just like systematically some of the things you guys talked about, like how his numbers are fake, which is something everyone wants to talk about. To show some footage, some other footage on tour. And we'll do those things. But for now, we're going to end this broadcast here. And then we're going to go about, cool. We'll end with what Francisco Diaz is asking me here. And then we're going to, I'm actually going to have a phone call with the great KRW. We're going to catch up. We've been knowing each other for the last couple of years. And then we're going to, yeah. And then I'm going to get to coach my guys. And then we're going to pick it back up tomorrow. So I posted a video on my channel today, guys, that I had rendering it up like just before this. So expect from me like a few videos every week that are like me, or maybe I'm going to try and do one like every day that I can, just making a video of like, this is advice to you as like in terms of your morning process through the opportunity to meet a girl. And then like what happens afterwards too. But so all my own organic content I'll be posting, but for now, we're going to have to sort of like manage both things. And I'm going to do that through streams because I just think it's like the most feasible way to go back and forth. So Francisco Diaz, what's up, brother? Que paso, amigo? What if you were to share what you think what do I think is John's strong points in game? Well, dude, I don't think he had, I think like, so, so let me use analogy of business, right? So like my business versus his business is very similar in terms of like the way it's not similar at all. And so the juxtaposition, the differences between my business and his business is very similar. It's the same as the differences in many ways to my game and his game. So for his business, what John does is he convinces people to do the work for him, and he doesn't pay them. But essentially what I'm trying to say, and he does pay people too, right? But what I'm trying to say is he farms it out. So John farms out his business shit. So like if you're going to make a call with him, like very unlikely will you actually get on the phone with him. You're going to get on the phone with like Paul or one of these other guys who like are his like, they're literally like sales guys. Like they are high ticket sales closers. That's what they are. They'll tell you all sorts of other things, but that's what they do. What will happen if you want to get coached by me? Well, you're going to fucking have to communicate to me for several weeks, if not months, joining free group calls, like providing value, like showing that you're worth it and that we enjoy each other's company and that we're getting somewhere, and then I'll coach you. And, and that's not going to change. So, and if you've worked with me, then you know that. And if you've tried to work with me, then you know that. So, strong points on his game are that the same as strong points on his business. He's able to grow by putting money into it. So how did his game? So what does he do that's good in game that some guys out there might want to do? Well, like for instance, like he hires people to like send his texts out, automate his texts. Like, did you guys ever read The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss? I don't know that I can recommend it. I don't think that it's worth it actually to read it. And I read it and I listened to it on an audiobook because I thought like, I was going to become that. And then I realized that in this world to do that would be to just pay people to do everything. And then just to be like sitting here, like with the girl on her way coming over. And that's like what he's doing, right? That's literally what he's doing. He's not doing any game. He's not texting any girls. Like, not to mention he now has a girlfriend who's like a lesbian, bisexual or something. Again, in my opinion, of course. And so she's doing the game for him. Like, so dude, like Francisco, bro, like, I don't mean to like totally slam your fucking question, but like, dude, John does, there's no, like, and actually I would love it if somebody else would prepare something to like, I can't wait to debate John. Just ask him like, what is a strong point of your game? And he's going to say like objection handling, or like, he's going to go back to like his numbers or something. Like, distract. So, I mean, this guy is like the worst of the worst. He's not a good person. He's not a good, in my opinion, he's not a good coach. That's a fucking fact. And he's definitely not good at game. He doesn't have any game. So yeah. And dude, and listen, like John's changed a lot, like since I met him. Like he's worked on his sobriety. Like he's tried so hard to like change his life, and in so many good ways he has. So like, and like, dude, is there love in his life? Like, I don't know. And like for him and Liz, I don't know. And I don't want to say there necessarily isn't. And so like, are there strong points in John's game? Like maybe there are. Maybe him and Liz like are in love. Maybe John's like really good at something. But sex, no. Like getting a girl off, no. How do I know these things? Because so many girls have told me, girls who hook up with John like hit me up. Like that's another thing. Like you'd be surprised, like because John just hooks up with such like fucking scumbags that like, in my opinion, of course, that like after they hook up, the girls try to like conquer me. They try to like come at me. And they always use the dumbest excuses, like, yeah, like fuck John, like we can show him, or like fuck John, like we can like yeah, we can like you'll do it so much better, and then we can like laugh about it. It's like, dude, what the fuck? No, I don't want to be inside anything that he was inside of. I don't even want to be in this fucking chat room if he's in here. So yeah, and yeah, guys. So I guess this is like my fucking first foray into the YouTube game, as it were, more than anything I've done before. I mean, like I've jumped in here and out and jumped in and out, and you've seen me on other people's channels, and I've made videos before on my channel like a year ago or whatever, but those were not very like, those videos lacked a certain intention. Like the intention in those videos were to react to somebody, and that's just pathetic. That's weak. So I was a pussy for that, and not a pussy for speaking out, not a pussy for putting myself out here, not a pussy for getting on YouTube, not a pussy for getting in front of the camera, not a pussy for telling my truths, not a pussy for like, asking forgiveness, but definitely a pussy for, some of the, attitudes and just standpoint, like the emotional perspective I was putting on. So yeah, guys, like I appreciate you guys so much, like more than you could ever know. And yeah, I would love to continue this conversation tomorrow. So follow my Instagram at The Real Coach Ryan. Like you can hit me up there. I post every day my morning process, at least like to hold myself and hold you guys accountable. If that's something you guys are having trouble with, if not, then you'll probably not be interested in that. In which case, yeah, hit me up via email. You can reach out to me. The Real Ryan Fernandez. That's my real name. RyanFernandez. So it's The Real TheReal RyanFernandez at gmail.com until I make like a link or some shit. And yeah, just hit me up, or post the shit in the comments below. Like I'm gonna reply to all my comments. So that's really what we should do. Thank you guys so much. This has been a process, and it will continue to be. So I love you guys and appreciate it. And I'll see you back here tomorrow.